experience 2000. It's a crazy moment for me. But I think the one thing that really helped me is finding the best people in the first place is very important, because when you recruit a talent, if you recruit by yourself, usually there are a big probability you got wrong, because you only have one perspective. But if you have, let's say, 4 people that interview this talent, you can have so many perspectives, and it's very good, because the first 50 people that I hire is really good people, and they sometimes I say yes, but they say no, then okay, I follow you guys. Usually I try to listen to everybody, so until everybody yes, then oh, this is a great people. That's what I think really helped. And I think start last 2 years ago, I didn't interview at all for the manager to the staff, because I trust my team, because they are really good.
So can you share the story about how your, because most of the time we find people for the companies through friend referrals, right?
Yes.
And I think you had a particular interesting time with friend referrals for the company early on in the days.
Oh yeah, the first one is great people, and the second factor, I think, your company performance. For example, if you hire great people at the first place, usually they don't want to refer another good people to your company if your company is still small. They don't want to take risks. They don't want to hurt their friends.
Right.
For example, what happened if the company bankrupt, something like that? They don't want to. And that's what happened in Bukalapak, I think, when we were 50 people, and I asked them, do you have friends who smarter than you? They said no. But actually they have.
Actually they have, friends.
Actually they have some friend out there who's smarter than them, but they don't want, because they just don't want, if the company going something, they don't want to be blamed, something like that. But finally, when the performance of the company getting bigger and bigger, people know that so many people using our products, they start confident. Oh, at least I can give them a better job compared to the other corporate. That's start. They referring their friends, and right now we receive like 20,000 CV a month, or maybe increasing to 30,000. It's crazy number, because they start referring their friend. And I believe you guys, every of you maybe have smarter people than you guys. I believe everyone has. Yeah.
So when you got that first friend referral, was that when you were like, oh, I've made it, like I'm safe enough for people to start referring their friends to?
Yeah, I think it's better condition than before.
Yeah.
So it's kind of achieving certain milestone, but I think I also believe that good news is also bad news. For example, okay, it's easy for us to recruit the best people, but it means maybe my people will, it's easy to find, so they don't think creatively. And that's what I say. You have to be aware when you have a good news. It's also, I believe in this cycle. So if you are in the bottom, please be aware that sometime you can be in the bottom because you are complacent. I can say that, complacent. So if you got the good news, you usually you will feel good and you don't do anything. Maybe Netflix, watch Netflix, play video games, hang out, because it's easy. Your job is kind of easy, and then something bad happen, you are not ready. So we have to prepare for something bad happen, and I think that's a good habit. And I try to encourage my people to, yeah, please prepare many things. Is there any things that we can improve, something like that? Always improve. Even we are in a good condition, we have to reach the sky. Always make our organization better and better. So we raise the bar.
Absolutely. So that brings us to another good point, which is, how do you kind of maintain that edge and that hungriness after big financing rounds? I mean, notwithstanding last week's, but just like in general, right? Because you've been through multiple funding rounds. It must feel great to finally close a round. You're like, yay, investors believe in us, the market believes in us, but how do you kind of keep yourself and your team hungry and make sure that you're, deploying that capital wisely, investing it into the right pieces? Like, what's that push and pull between investing properly, but then also investing in the areas that you want to grow, but also playing it a little bit safe?
Yeah, actually we are very lucky because we are in very tough competition. I believe you already know about this space, e-commerce. It's very tough competition. We have a very great competitors, I can say, and to be honest, we are very lucky because it makes us more hungry every day, because we're looking around what they are doing better in this area. We have to fill their gap, something like that. We have to be better than them in terms of execution. That's the good thing about competition. And I think for a startup who have competition, you are not number one, don't worry. Actually, if you are number 2 or number 3, you are very lucky, because it means you can have a benchmark of number one. Usually number one got more money, and then they spend, yeah, like I said, complacent, spend everywhere, and actually the ROI is not that good. Investor, at the end of the day, they looking for ROI. So if you spend money better than them, it means for investor better for them to invest in you guys. So as far as you generate higher ROI, I think you will win at the end of the day. You have to be very consistent. You have to be very focused on a customer and make sure that your money, $1 of your money spent, generate higher ROI. And that's what Bukalapak is very disciplined in that execution. And I think that's make investor love Bukalapak, because if they invest in us, it means it generates higher multiply than the other competitor. And so far we raised only 400, maybe 500, and it's and our valuation is 2.5. It means 5 multiply. If you compare to all other unicorn around the world, I think we are one of the top. I think in terms of multiply, is very good multiply. Yeah.
So we have a lot of, I'm sure, aspiring founders and potential startup employees in the audience. So how do you view the overall talent market in Indonesia? I'm sure it's evolved a lot. The internet economy, people now believe in it, obviously. Startups are not such a scary thing, but how do you view the overall talent market in terms of the tech and startup space going forward?
I think the number of talent right now is very high. Yeah, is so many people jumps into tech company now than before. I remember my first job posting, software engineer in Kompas or even JobsDB, didn't get reply in 6 months. Really, yeah, and it's crazy time. It's very hard to hire tech talent, but right now we have 20,000 CV a month. And 95% we reject them all, and I think it's an opportunity for any kind of startup. It means the talent ecosystem is getting bigger and bigger, and I think it's a good opportunity for founders. I think the gap is on the founder side, I believe. The talent, we have so many talent. I can say ITB, UI, or BINUS, every year they generate thousand of great talents. The problem is the founders. I think we have to make the supply of the founder bigger and bigger. And it means you guys has to be very great founder. You have to prove yourself that the company can grow really fast, get investment, and then attract many talents. I think in general in Southeast Asia, we need a great founder. If you look at Israel, and I told you in Sweden, the founders per capita is really high. They have 10,000 founders. In Indonesia, only have 1,000. So it's a gap. With the population only 8 million, Indonesia have almost 300 million. And it means the number of founders in Indonesia is still a gap. And I think, yeah, that's why I'm here also. I hope I can share to you guys. Hopefully, I can share insightful story about Bukalapak and important for you guys.
So if we can double click on that for a second, you're getting a ton of CVs from people who want to join your tech company, but you still feel like there's a lack of tech founders. What do you think is leading to that sort of imbalance between founders and people who are interested and really passionate about tech startups?
I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe it's a culture also. Actually, yeah, I come from Central Java where most of people is very conservative. It's not common actually to start a company in Indonesia, especially in Central Java. Maybe in Jakarta it's much better, but most of area in Indonesia is very conservative, and I think this is a problem. We need to break the barrier. We need to create, little by little, great founders from Papua, from Aceh, so the Papua people, Aceh people can believe, oh, I can be like him, something like that. That's kind of inspiration that we need. Once we can break the myth, for example, in Papua we can find a great founder from Papua, or unicorn founder from Papua, then Papua people will believe, I believe, they will start to be like him or her. To start a tech company, because we don't have role model. Our role model always politician, what else? YouTuber, right? Celebrity usually, and I think this is the gap. Yeah.
Sure, and not having a role model, and obviously founding a startup is incredibly difficult and takes a ton of hard work and perseverance and courage, and so providing the confidence for them to kind of overcome that particular gap and hurdle. So for any aspiring founders that are in the room, those who are kind of grinding it out on a daily basis, what advice would you give them? Like how would you encourage them to keep on the path that they're going?
Yeah, I think your role is very important for the country, for Indonesia especially, or any Southeast Asian country. I think our people life can be better when we have so many jobs, and these jobs is created by companies, and the company is run by you, by founders. So there are very big responsibility in you guys, and you are like a hero actually. And I really hope that you always try. I think there is a single trait that I see in many great founders. I think they always try, and they try like, actually they are not smart. If you think I'm smart or the great founder is smart, I think you are wrong. We try a lot actually. So I try 100 times. My success rate may be 10%. I success 10, but it's enough to generate growth, to generate traction. I think the challenge is how can we try a lot in short period of time, and we success at 10% rate is not bad, and the 10% success rate can be source of our company growth. And I think that's a very important mindset. Usually people try 5 times and then they I'm not success. You have to believe that you try 20, maybe you will success one, something like that. Try, fail, and try again is very important mentality. Yeah, trust me. I see in many founder, they boom 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 boom. Oh, one got. That mentality is very very important. Yeah.
So you're now one of the iconic regional founders for Southeast Asia. How do you kind of like wear that title? Do you think about it? Do you not think about it? You're too busy running Bukalapak? I mean, what does this mean to you to be in this kind of role right now, to be in your position?
Yeah, Bukalapak for me is responsibility. It's a gift. I always told to my people that it's a gift because I'm not smarter than you. I'm not smarter than, yeah, even for you guys. Why God gave me Bukalapak to me? It means it's responsibility. It's a gift. You have to take care of Bukalapak very well, the company very well, because the success is not because of you, but something happen, magic happen given to you. You have to protect. So for me, I think protecting Bukalapak, growing the company is part of my responsibility, and I really hope that Bukalapak can grow and give impact to many, especially as our mission statement say that we want to make a small business prosper. That's our dream, and I really hope that will be happen soon, the impact to many small business.
And what do you think you've learned about yourself over the years, you know, back from 2009 until today? What have you learned about, you know, how you approach problems, how you build teams, how you interact with the world around you?
Do you watch serial called Heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Heroes. Do you watch Heroes, right?
Great.
There is a feeling called Siler. Yeah, Siler. Siler try to absorb anything. I think that's my
This
mentality.
is a very deep throwback, by the way. This was like 10 years ago, but okay, continue.
Yeah, the styler skill is try to absorb anyone's skill, so he can absorb your skill. I think that's my mentality. I changed because of I close to great people and absorb their skill. I talk to many people. I talk to shareholder. I talk to, and then yeah, any good thing that approach me, I try to grab it and then to execute it. I think that's a very very important moment. You have to open to any kind of idea and execute really fast. Like I mentioned, try, fail, and try again is very important in startup world, because you don't know what is the right one, right? It's very hard. Is this right or not? You don't have time to analyze this. Just execute it, and then if they fail, it's okay. Learn, fail, learn again, learn. I think that's what I learned so far for 10 years.
Great. And a lot of the theme of these 2 days is really kind of talking about the future of Southeast Asia, where we think the tech industry is going, and remaining opportunities and gaps that still face the overall ecosystem. So any specific challenges that you're worried about, or specific opportunities that you think, you know, haven't really been tapped into yet?
Yeah, I think this is also part of our responsibility as a unicorn early tech company. We have to be a role model. We have to show up that we are profitable and can IPO somewhere, or in Singapore or Nasdaq, or Australia, Indonesia also. I think it's very important to show to the investor community that, hey, you can invest in tech company, valuable tech company in Indonesia, developing country. It's never happened before. I think it's very important story. When we can success, I think you guys as the next founder can the investor will believe in you guys. I think this is kind of cycle, and it's not happened. The 4 unicorn of Indonesia still not IPO, right?
Right.
And I think we are waiting for this 4 to be very successful, and hopefully this success story can generate more investor, inspire more founders, and then the ecosystem can be bigger and bigger. The talent grow. The people from all over Indonesia can dreaming about founding a tech company. I think that's the future of Southeast Asian startup ecosystem. Southeast Asian, I believe, I told you, right? Indonesia, in Israel or Sweden, the hypothesis is because they are a prosperous country, they have anything, that's why they start startup. But in Indonesia, we don't have anything. We are nothing to lose. Just start a company. Don't think so much. Because we don't have anything. So that's my hypothesis. Indonesia can be, and Indonesia has a lot of problem. We are maybe the most problematic country in the world. And I think this is opportunity. This is opportunity for founders. So having no money, don't have anything, and having a problem is very good combination to build a company. I think you guys is the future of Indonesia. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's actually time for us today, but Zaky, thank you so much for sharing so candidly about your experiences. It sounds like we have a lot of big things to continue to expect from Bukalapak. And thank you so much for listening in today. The one last thing that we want to do is get a selfie with the whole crowd.
That's right.
But we need your arm. I can't do it. Can you do it? Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Oh, sorry.